That's the worst weapon for a motherfucker to lie to you. I'd rather be around a murderer, a thief, than a liar. Because with a murderer, I know how he coming. He a killer, I know he gonna kill something. He a drug dealer, I know he gonna sell some drugs. He's religious, I know he's gonna worship God. He's a thief, he gonna steal some shit. But with a liar, you will never know how they coming. Never know how they coming, when they coming, where they coming, or even why they are coming.
Can I be for real? Baby, can we talk?
Our oppressors, these human beings, are master manipulators. Remember, family, how did they take this planet from you? They didn't come take it like no gorillas. Nigga, they didn't hop off this ship like no gangsters today. We want this bitch, now let's war. No, they didn't. They came like the cowards they always been, nigga. They came deceptively. See what I'm saying? Hi, y'all. We come in peace. Can y'all teach us? We love y'all. We worship y'all. We've never seen. Can we learn from you?
Every race is ahead of us right now. Like in infrastructure and wealth, and because you were deliberately held back. Colonization is still relevant today because it pigeonholed you and allowed every other group to get a head start over you. Slavery is still relevant today because it pigeonholed you and allowed every other group to get a head start. This is why when you talk about issues of inequality, disproportionality, racism, and bias, the U.S. government, the white power structure, never wants to bring up slavery. This is why they want slavery cut. Stop talking about slavery. You know why? Because if you really want to talk about the source of black-white inequality, you have to go to slavery. You want to talk about the source of police killings in the black community. You got to go back to the slave patrols, which were the original police, keeping Negroes on the plantation and making sure they didn't run away from it. That's the original police force. Every problem we have in America, every problem we have in the Caribbean, every problem we have in Africa, Central and South America, Canada, the UK, throughout Europe and Australia, originated in slavery and colonization. But the white man doesn't like to go beyond 50 years. If you notice, his conversations are always about what's happening now. He never ties it to history. Because if you tie your problems to history, he's the cause of all your problems. So they'll talk about brothers selling drugs. They'll talk about black men killing each other. But what about the fact that the Irish used to kill each other? The Jews used to kill each other. You understand me? The Italians used to kill each other until the white man did what? He gave the Jews the civil service government jobs in the city centers. He gave the Italians the fire departments in the city centers, black community, and he gave the Irish the police department. He gave them an economic stimulus package to come into our neighborhood and kick our ass and let our homes burn down and take all the government jobs. And that's how the Jews, the Irish, and the Italians was able to stop gang banging and live a decent middle-class white life. All we did was step into the underworld that the Jews, Irish, and Italians left us. And this is why people have to know their political history, because these white folks act like you caused them problems. Even with ghettos, the Federal Housing Authority created the ghettos. They created the damn ghettos. They gave white people loans to move out into the suburb. Poor white people were able to escape to the suburbs on an FHA loan. When you tried to get one, you wanted to go to the suburbs too. They told you, no, you ain't got the credit. You ain't qualified. So then you said, well, let me buy a piece of Miami. I want to buy a piece of Miami. I want to buy this abandoned home on my block. And do you know what they say? Unfortunately, we can't finance dilapidated property. So you're not going to help me get a home in the suburb, and you ain't going to let me own nothing in the ghetto. And this is how they protected the ghetto for gentrification. That's why when you look around America, black people are being pushed out their own neighborhood very easy. Because when white flight came to the inner cities, white people left, but they never absolved their control of the real estate. Most black people are squatters and renters, not owners. And the government deliberately kept it that way. So in the year 2000, when former President George W. Bush decided that this would be the century of gentrification, we couldn't even fight back against it because we didn't own anything.
And you the motherfucking Indian if you got carbon in your skin. They lied when they told you in history all the Indians gone. Where they go? Where they go? Where they go? They said there was 8 billion Indians. Where they go? You really believe they killed 8 billion of us? They just got here. They just got here. They just got here. Fuck what they telling you. You see, these motherfuckers went back and wrote themselves in our history they got spells of us trying to make us think that they been here and shit, because we have forgot, nigga. 500 of their man-made years, nigga. 1492 is when they landed. They didn't take over to 1776. They got you thinking they been here for forever. They just got here, nigga. You are the Indians. They called you that right in history. Indians, nigga. The Indians that they show you are $5 Indians, nigga. What they call $5 Indians. These are human beings posing as motherfucking Indians, nigga. Getting all the land reservations, all the free land, all the money, nigga. We are the Indians. You looking at them. You looking at them every day, nigga. They didn't kill us. They just renamed us. They enslaved us and renamed us. They didn't bring us across from no motherfucking Africa neither. They got you thinking we all came from Africa to hide the fact that we was everywhere, nigga. We everything. And I'm just keeping it on a third dimensional level, nigga. I ain't gotta take you up into the cosmos to let you know how you created the whole fucking cosmos, nigga. We can just stay right here on the planet with this shit. 8 billion motherfucking Indians, nigga. Where do you think they went? You looking at them, nigga. You looking at them. Black and Latino people that they like to call us. You're looking at them. They ain't never get rid of us, nigga. They just reclassified us as African Americans and Latino Americans. They just changed the name, nigga. It ain't nothing to change a motherfucking name. You better look at your history. You better look at your history. Look at this. This don't lie. Fuck them titles that them Spanish conquistadors gave our ancestors, nigga. Fuck them titles, nigga. This carbon can't lie. Who can take this sun? That's who us, nigga. Whoever can stand out here and take this sun, you know. Fuck all them titles. See, them titles have you all lost and shit. He Belizean. He ain't me. He African. He definitely ain't me. Them ain't us. They Africans, nigga. They Puerto Ricans, nigga. They ain't us, nigga. We black people, nigga. Nigga, them ain't us, nigga. Nigga, that's all us. Latinos, blacks, Africans, Jamaicans, Belize, the whole South America, nigga. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? Them all us, that's us. We all the same people, nigga. Now we rise, nigga. Now we see like, oh shit, down in South America, them is our brothers. Oh shit, them Puerto Ricans, they us. Oh shit, damn, them over there, damn, we deep than a motherfucker. They said we was the minority. Oh, I get it. They took us as the majority and broke us up into 25 different races, nigga. And then called themselves the majority and called us the minority, nigga.
Is it true that white people need us to survive?
Hell yeah. Without melanin, they can't survive. Matter of fact, if you look at the statistics, white people are dying right now. Mm-hmm. They are dying more than they're repopulating. And that's why so many black people are coming up missing. Notice they're getting all of these different type of melanin shots inside of them. They're trying to deal with the sun more. Right now, with all of these heat rays and how the sun is heating up and all of the ultraviolet infrared rays is coming from the sun, man, white people are dying globally from skin cancer. The sun is beating they ass. I mean, literally especially in Israel. Look up the sun cancer epidemic in Israel. Man, the sun is whooping they ass.
They know that.
But they need melanin for the sun can charge them and make them supernatural like it does us. We are supernatural people. We are an eternal people. We really is. We are a reflection of God itself. And we can prove this through biology.
When you said that we're eternal people.
Okay, what do you think the plan is? Why do you think they want us in this delusional state? That they want us stuck, they want us in this matrix. What do you think the overall plan is, just to keep us?
I just believe we are messing with a incubus and a succubus type of entity. And I think that this entity literally survive and thrive off of fear and off of blood and off of catastrophic of events. I don't believe that this whoever is even yielding forth this plan is human. You know, there's different type of species here on this earth. And, you know, a lot of people think this is spookism, but it's actually in a lot of classified documents that's ran down by the CIA, the government, that's unclassifying these things. For instance, you know, a lot of people believe that the reptilian movement or this new reptilian information is fake, but we have something called the reptilian part of our brains, which is the natural state of fight or flight to our brain. It's right up under the mammalian brain. It's literally called the reptilian brain, and it's basically in control of your desires, basically sleep, awakening, hunger, and having sex to reproduce. So I believe that there's entities out here that want to control us, to use us as a battery to basically keep them thriving and surviving through the galaxies. Everybody is not here to exchange and share love and to grow humanity, to expand consciousness. There's something called duality. Whenever you create light, darkness is a byproduct of that. Whenever you see something beautiful, there have to be a byproduct that look like something ugly. You got hot, cold, you have up, down, you have water, you have solids. So you have black, you have white. There's a polar opposite to each entity that ever lives inside of this reality. So if we are the children of light, then there have to be children of darkness. And this war been here since the beginning of time. Just by creating creation, you start conflict, because you can't create nothing that doesn't have a polar opposite. And they teach you this in biochemistry. You have electrons that's negatively charged, then you have protons that's positively charged. You have hydrogen that's charged, then you have oxygen, and if you add it to a hydrogen, it becomes negatively charged. So just us living and breathing inside of this universe, you always going to have that opposite side or go to war with something. And I just believe within my heart and everything I've been studying and researching that we are at a war with a people that's not a people, and this is spiritual warfare. And the reason why they're doing what they're doing is because they need our energy, they need our essence, they need our blood, and they need our currency to survive and to thrive in this here realm. So the ultimate goal for them is to use us as batteries, in layman terms, for us to be slaves.
That's what we are.
That's what they are. Hopefully after this podcast, they won't be, though.
You need to raise your hand to ask your teacher for permission to ask a question. Hopefully the question does not contradict their teachings, because then you'll be sent to the principal's office and you will be put in detention. Sounds very much like prison. Many times you want to use the restroom and they say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll let you use the bathroom. And hopefully, fingers crossed, you're allowed to use the bathroom. But before you use the bathroom, you're given a hall pass. This hall pass gives you the allowance to walk down the corridors of your school, surrounded by concrete walls and fluorescent lights. Hopefully you have your hall pass when the hall monitor stops you, lest you break the rules. All of this is conditioning, designed to keep you a slave, designed to keep you subjugated and controlled. You may think they're small nuances, but if you think the world operates by chance and that things just happen, then you really don't understand how the game is played. When the bell goes off at recess, it very much resembles an assembly line. When the bell goes off, it's break time. But it does not only resemble the factories, it also resembles the prison industrial complex. When the bell goes off, well, that's when the inmates have access to the yard to enjoy some of the rays of the sun and hopefully some grass. All of these things are by design. When you're in primary school and middle school and high school, you are conditioned to transition these behaviors and these thoughts and these operating systems to university, where you do not question authority. You do not question the person in charge. You're then led to the financial office to receive financial aid. But is it really aid? We understand that there is no such thing as a free lunch. But when you're pulling out these loans, subsidized and unsubsidized loan, look them up. You'll realize that in fact, you are becoming a slave. Andrew Jackson, who's on the $20 bill, famously said, when you are in debt, you become a slave. But what best time to make somebody a slave when they have no understanding of the financial system, when they have not been educated as to how the world works, and they end up in a situation where all they do is nurture their ideas from a source of authority that has been fabricated out of thin air. The Bible also says the borrower is the servant of the lender. And the people that run the financial system of the world understand that once you go from primary school to middle school to high school, you then become an autonomous individual. And the only way to keep you a slave is to keep you in debt. So this higher education for most people is in fact another level of the matrix, another level to subjugate and control every aspect of your life.
Your whole birth means nothing. You are shit to them. All right, when you come here and that birth certificate is signed, you are officially signed over as property of these draconian reptilians. They then begin to harvest you. So they stuff you. You are cattle, so they feed you food. That's why it's called food, because we are cattle to them. So they feed us and they stuff us like you would do a cow on a farm. But the whole time when you had this cow on this farm, you know that they're raising this cow to kill this cow. So this cow is not aware that it is truly, its true reason is for existence is just for food. All right. And that's the same thing that's been going on with us, your black and your Latino people all over the planet. We are only a food source for these draconian reptilians. Now the Pleiadians, they not into eating us as much as the draconian reptilian race is. Like the draconian reptilian race, they literally feed off of us. They eat off of our nutrients. They need the mitochondria. They need our blood. They need our chromosomes. They need our cells, because I told you we are dark matter energy specimens. We are 9 ether beings. We are the creme de la creme of the cosmos, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what we are. You know, we created all. So understand that the whole reason that when you come here, they make you work, in fact, like, okay, they take you through school and they miseducate you, right? They miseducate you so that you have no understanding about your surrounding, no true understanding about politics, no understanding about the world around you, your history, your true purpose for being here. All right. Now you grow up and you either become an entertainer, or you might become like a lawyer or a doctor, or you might just work a regular factory job, or you might become a drug dealer or a hustler or whatever. It really don't matter what you become, because at the end of the day, you have been donating your energy to this matrix, and they feed the people that run this system at the top of the rung. They feed off of your adrenaline. They feed off of our fear. Okay, understand these people are real life vampires. You get what I'm saying? So understand that this world that you have been living in has really been ran by Satan. This is Satan's world. Okay, so when they told you in the Bible that Satan came and he came down and he took over everything and he okay, even though the Bible is, we know the Bible is like, you know, it's been contorted and it's not 100. Okay, that's still letting you, and you got to understand something, man. You got to understand that who runs this matter we're in. All right, you got to understand that majority of the people here have been served Satan, and they are not even aware of it. Okay, they are not even aware that they are serving Satan. All right, this is what religion is for. Religion is designed to make you serve Satan, but not be knowing that you're serving Satan. All right, that's how we all end up serving Satan before, including me. I was religious. I was a Christian before, then I was a Muslim. Like, so we don't know this. Most of the masses don't know this. This is undisclosed information I'm telling y'all right now. That's why I'm telling y'all, like I told you, I say, get out the car, because this shit, we finna get deep. You feel me? Like, we finna get deep, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully they don't cut us off and shit, because I ain't did a PowerPoint on here in a minute, but we back on here with this shit, you know what I'm saying? Y'all share the live 3 times, because we understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. Listen, we ain't even got started yet, you feel me? So all right, so understand that this world that we live in, that we have been being harvested. All right, before we move on with the lecture, you got to understand that we have been being harvested, like literally. And then, like, you know how they make you work? The reason they make you work in factories, the masses stuff work in factories, is because you spend 10, 20, 30, 40 years working in this factory. You're pumping all this energy out there. You're pumping all this fear out, all this strain, all this stress that comes with working a job all these years. Okay, so they're draining you. And then now, when you do retire, right? Now they just sitting back waiting for you to die. Because when you die, all those years of building up that stress, that frequency, that fear, those negative emotions, these chemicals are released from you at the moment that you leave this avatar. Anybody that works in a funeral home, or anybody that's in the medical field, will tell you about all the chemicals your body releases at the moment of what they call death. Okay, so this is how sick this world is. So once you release all these chemicals at the moment you leave, you transcend this realm and you transcend the avatar. Why do you think they go back into the graveyard and they take the body? Okay, most people, the masses, are not aware that when you bury a relative, they are not in the ground. You're not there to see your relative get buried. They don't even let you stay there for that. You only stay there so long, and then y'all leave. You just see the casket laying in the ground. That's all you see was the casket laying in the ground. And you're like, okay, I know my relative got buried. You are not aware that nobody relative go in that ground. They take that body, chop that body up, send the parts off to certain individuals, all right? Mix, split the blood up, do blood harvesting, organ donating, organ harvesting rather, with the organs of everybody's dead relatives when people pass away. And you have never went to the cemetery to dig your relative up. If you go dig your relative up, ain't gonna be nobody there. No bones or nothing. It should be bones there, right? It won't be no bones there. I can guarantee you that. I'm willing to pay you. Whoever willing to go dig their relative up, I'll pay you. You feel me? Your feelings gonna be hurt. I'm not lying to y'all about nothing. Listen, man. Understand that, and this is how sick it is. Even when your soul and spirit transcend the realm, if you have never opened your third eye while in this physical, most of us who were entrapped in religion and trapped in working in this matrix and trapped in believing in the matrix and living in it and releasing all these chemicals and staying locked into our root chakra, right? When you die and you transcend the realm, even on a spiritual level, most people go back into the moonlight. And so they soul and spirit come right back. This is why this realm is called light code lockdown, and you call it reincarnation, but you're not supposed to come back here. You shouldn't even want to be here right now if you truly understood what was going on down here on this realm. This realm is not free like it used to be. Now, we are at war right now to take the realm and the planet back, but it was a time before time when time did not exist. I repeat, it was a time before time when time did not exist. And the soul and spirit can come and go as it please. And these avatars never, quote unquote, died. There was no oxygen in the atmosphere. So understand that at that time, this when the realm was a part of the cosmic and galactic forces, all right? Before it had been hijacked by these Pleiadian, Draconian human alliance, all right?
Education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged, and nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream. Because you have to be asleep to believe it.
By the time these young people get ready to have children, they will realize that as the hole in the ozone layer gets larger and larger, more and more sunlight is allowed to enter our environment, and more people who have pale faces are going to die of melanoma. which is a skin cancer that you get if you don't have enough melanin in your skin. Let me tell you, people of color are going to be very much in demand for reproduction in the future. And mark my words, you're laughing now, but you wait 20 years. You won't even have to wait 20 years because they're going to see that if they want their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren to survive, they're going to have some melanin in their skin. That's the way it's going to be.
Black guys.
Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, you know, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer.
Nigga, if we came from Africa, why the fuck them Africans ain't never heard that story then? Till they got to America, nigga. If you an African American, what African connect with you? They don't know your ass, nigga. You ain't never been over there, nigga. They don't know you till they got over here, nigga. Nigga, if we really came from Africa, nigga, they would have hopped on them ships and came over here and got our ass a long time ago, nigga. Them Africans ain't no bitches, nigga. Y'all got them fucked up, nigga. They us. Them carbonated beings like us. What you talking about? That we all one species. We all suffer. You know what I'm saying? They attacked us all. But I'm saying real shit, nigga. Nigga, you really think, nigga, they just pulled up with ships, nigga, and started grabbing niggas? Niggas boarding niggas on chains going. Remember the pictures they showed you? Come on, we grown now, y'all. Let's break past the bullshit, nigga. Remember the pictures and shit they showed you in grammar school? Niggas like this. I can believe that. But now niggas, anklets, niggas by the neck, nigga, by the thousands. You see ships, you see one nigga, and you got, hold on. You see niggas like this. Chingling past. And you see these motherfuckers with a whip. One rifle. So you telling me 20 white motherfuckers on 5 ships with 3.5 rifles and 2 whips. 2 whips, nigga. Conquered, nigga, 20,000 black motherfuckers, nigga. Come on, man. You believe that? You believe that, nigga? Go look at the pictures, nigga. It's a few good men out there, nigga. Like they say, it's a few white men. Good man meaning the humans. It's a few good men in the motherfucking pictures, nigga. We by the thousands, nigga, like this, nigga. You know what I'm saying, nigga? It's a few of they ass with a... Nigga, you think we really was going like that? Come on, man. Please, nigga. Please, nigga. We would have fucked them up out there, nigga. And they ain't never... Then they kept doubling back, grabbing niggas? Come on, man. They kept... So y'all went and grabbed a bunch of us, went across the America, nigga. Then, hold on. Y'all want us to believe this shit about y'all had us laying at the bottom of the ship like this, nigga? Niggas was pissing and shitting for 6 months? Man, listen, family. That's the type of shit, man, I damn near walked out the crib on y'all ass. You feel me? Come on, man. Literally. So we ain't gonna grow up. We ain't gonna grow up, y'all. We ain't gonna grow up. Where does the term American come from? Alright? So America is named after Amerigo Vespucci, the Italian explorer who set forth the then revolutionary concept that the lands that Christopher Columbus sailed to in 1492 were part of a separate continent. America. Alright? Let me read it again. So America, what does the term American come from? America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. So he right in your face. So we sitting there calling ourselves Latin Americans, right? And African Americans. So this your forefather, huh? This who you look like, huh? Cause there go Amerigo right there. Another white person. Another Caucasian male. And I'm not racist. I'm stating motherfucking facts. Alright? So we calling ourselves Latin Americans and African Americans, but the term American comes from Amerigo Vespucci. Okay? And you don't look nothing like him. Neither do I. So we ain't no motherfucking Americans. You not no American. This man came and conquered your ancestors. Did you forget? He came and conquered your ancestors. And they rewarded him by naming this continent that's our land after his bitch ass. African Americans, same way. Scipio Africanus, baby. Conquered your people. Conquered and killed your people. Alright? What'd he do? Was a Roman general who is often regarded as one of the greatest military commanders and strategists of all time. Look how they were. It's people that conquer us. Now I want y'all to pay attention to why they call him one of the greatest of all times. Keep reading. Let's keep reading. Why is he one of the greatest? Because he is best known for defeating Hannibal in the final battle of Zama. The victory was one of the feats that earned him the Agamen Africanus. You an African, huh? You an African. They just told you that Africa was named after Scipio Africanus. And he was a Roman general who defeated your ancestors. Matter of fact, he considered one of the greatest military commanders and strategists of all time. Why? Why they consider him that? Because he defeated Hannibal. Who was Hannibal? A carbonated being. And by defeating Hannibal, they gave him the whole continent of what they now call Africa. Because of him killing your ancestors, who were the Atlanteans. And they killed them. And he was the general that led that march. And he did such a good job that they named the continent after him. So now we know why it's called Africa, if we did not know. Facts. And this was all after the fall. This was all after the Great Invasion of 1492. Come on, man. I don't be fucking around with y'all when I'm telling y'all gods and goddesses. You ain't no fucking African American. Now do you see why I'm calling you a god? I'm telling you your species name. They told you was an African American. When you are an Anunnaki god. Now tell them to prove to you how you are American. I'm proving to you how you not. How you not no Latin American or African American. Name it, sell out to two white people. Scipio Africanus in America Vespucci. I followed the laws of the country, but once I seen that these motherfucking pedophiles and these senators and shit, they don't get locked up, and I seen that these motherfuckers import all the drugs and the guns, and I seen that shit with my own too. I'm like, honoring shit, nigga. When I seen that this motherfuckers out here that don't pay taxes, and they rich as fuck, like I know people that's rich as fuck that don't pay taxes. I ain't gonna say their name. I ain't gonna fuck it up for them. But guess what? You got me fucked up. I'm not paying shit. Nigga. You hear me? You see what I'm saying? When I found out that they be drinking our blood. When I found out that every motherfucking missing person, I thought they just go, motherfuckers really go missing. But when I found out that nobody ever went missing and every single missing person ever was really them kidnapping them, killing them, and eating them. When I found out that, well, remembered rather, because we already know this. When I remembered that, do you know that we, like I say, nobody that died that you ever buried, they not in there. They not in the ground. They're not in the ground at all. You can go dig that shit up yourself. I got $1,000 for you. You dig it up right now. I guarantee you it ain't no bones in that bitch. I guarantee you ain't see no bones in that bitch. It should at least be some bones in there still right there if their body was down there, right? Or was you gonna say all the bones got ate by the worms, nigga? Nigga, it ain't gonna be a box in there, nigga. It ain't gonna be a box in there, nigga. I bet you ain't even a casket in there. A box. None of that. See, when I found that out, like, damn, the motherfuckers that run the world is really the real criminals. You don't hear me? When I found out that the motherfuckers in power that run the world, that make the law, are the real criminals, boy, I ain't honoring shit. Y'all got me fucked up, nigga. You hear me? You hear me? Yeah. You know, and y'all want to tell us that the police is here to protect and serve the community, but I know the police is the real terrorists. All right. It's in police jurisdiction to kill the citizens. In America, y'all need to just admit this to the citizens because you're showing it to them every day. All right? Because when I say it, they think I'm just saying fuck the police for no reason. Listen, y'all need to go read the laws. You are not citizens. If you are black or Latino, understand me, you are not a citizen of this country. I've been telling y'all this in every lecture. Every lesson I've been telling y'all this. I'm telling you legally, I've showed you legally on here, right? In this university, on YouTube, that if you are black or Latino, you are not a citizen of this country. Now, white people are citizens of this country. Those laws apply to them, all right? So, I want to show you an example of that right now. Let me show you an example of how you're not a citizen. All right, and I keep telling y'all the laws only apply to white people, right? Because these white people are citizens of America. And this is why I say white people, if you are not racist, then why? If you got black friends, then why the fuck ain't you helping us right now? All the white people, if y'all so not motherfucking racist, don't say shit in these comments. Help us. Help us. You ain't finna, I don't see y'all ass speaking out about shit. Alright? So I'm just here to give y'all the real. I told y'all should side with us. Now y'all, I'm not gonna force y'all to side with us. You poor and middle class human beings. I'm not forcing y'all that. I told y'all only a few human beings is gonna really ride with us in this war. And they gonna end up getting souls because of that. Right? Majority of human beings gonna stay arrogant, gonna stay feeling like y'all ain't gotta check in, gonna stay feeling like can't nobody tell y'all shit, we finna fuck y'all up. Like we really finna fuck y'all up on a whole nother level past it. Like, you really don't understand where we at with it right now. I'm a warrior, G, so that balance. That's why some lectures I don't even wanna get them bitches. Ancestors be like, give them. But I be like, I don't even want to talk about the shit. I don't want to hear shit about change, peace. None of it. I don't want to hear none of it, boy. This dark matter energy is rising. It's here. All that shit about when motherfuckers be like, oh, you getting emotional. That's because you not connected to the pain, my nigga. This shit don't mean nothing to you. And your bitch ass ain't gonna do shit about. That's why you making me wait to when I let this shit out of my soul. They could have built a city. They could have built a state, a town. All these fucking acres, nigga, they could have built their cities, states, towns anywhere. They killed our ancestors. And they built their cities over their dead bodies. Bro, they gotta be, bro, they gotta be hot at us, bro. They gotta be hot at us, bro. Like, could you imagine your kids knowing that motherfuckers killed you and then built cities over where they killed you at, and your kids living in them cities, working in them cities, trying to abide by the laws of the cities? But before they killed your parents, it was no laws. It was no laws. It was no law. The laws were only made when they took your land. My teacher ain't never taught me this shit in school. Nigga, as many black teachers we had, nigga, ain't one tell me that in school. But this who I'm doing it for. Feel me? That's why I say, whatever happened down here in Georgia, nigga, let the record reflect why I stood 10 toes and why I went hard, nigga. You feel me? It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me, my wife, even what we going through today. Bro, this shit runs so much deeper.
We acknowledge white people, Europeans and Asians as Africans? And
that
they should come back?
Not. Absolutely not. They are not Africans. Even if they evolved from us, they are now a distinctly different race. Now, multiculturalists and integrationists and colorblind Negroes would say they have 2 arms and 2 legs and they have 2 eyes just like the rest of us. How are they not a part of our human family? And I'll tell you why. Biology is only one aspect of reality. What about spirituality? What about psychology? What about cosmology? What about sociology? Even though the white man may have all the body parts of an African, we do not share the same worldview. We do not share the same spiritual principles. We do not share the same sociological assimilation. Nothing about the African and the European is the same except the fact we share the same human body. So I do not agree that white people are Africans. They are Caucasians, and they have nothing to do with us.
If life originated in Africa and the original man, woman are from Africa, how do we explain Europeans, Asians, maybe even Latinos?
There's a great book written by probably the greatest archaeologist and cultural anthropologist in human history. Not black, but I would say he was the greatest of all time. I'm sure you know his name, Cheikh Anta Diop from Senegal. He wrote a book called The African Origin of Civilization. Everybody needs to read it. This was the scholar who snuck into, I don't want to say snuck, went into the temples of Kemet, took melanin, or should I say took pigment or skin off of the mummies of the pharaohs, came up with a melanin dosage test and proved that the kings and queens of Kemet had to be African based on the percentage of melanin in their skin. It was Cheikh Anta Diop who proved to the world that all 5 stages of modern man originated in Africa. The first stage of modern man, all African. Second stage, all African. Third, all African. Homo sapien, the 4th stage, all African. And then we're the 5th stage, Homo sapien sapien. It was only the Homo sapien sapien who left Africa. If the Homo sapien sapien, modern African, never leaves Africa, we never go into Europe, we never experience the Ice Age, Europeans never come, they never evolve. Asians never evolve. Indians never evolve. You don't get another race on earth if the African never leaves Africa. And for that reason, I would like to ask our great African ancestors, why in the hell did you leave the continent? Because if you didn't, we wouldn't be dealing with white supremacy.
But they don't want anybody living out in the boonies. Anybody that's got a couple of acres of land, his own water supply, and can grow his own food, and that kind of thing, have some sheep or some chickens. These people are a threat to the collectivist society because they aren't going to go to the politicians and say, please feed me, please clothe me, please give me shelter. Tend to be independent. That's the secret behind Agenda 20. They want people out of the country, want corporations out there growing all the food and that kind of thing, but they don't want anybody living out there because that way they cannot be controlled. In order to control mankind, we have to get them all into the big cities. We have to rack them up and stack them up and dependent on the state for their food, their shelter, their electrical power, water, everything. It's the dirty secret.
We can't afford milk. We can't afford eggs. We can't afford our rent. We can't afford our...
What I'm about to tell you is going to be really shocking for some of you guys, so please listen. If you haven't watched this person's full video, please go watch it real quick before you watch mine. For anyone who's taken psychology before, you've seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs before. Basically what this shows is everything that us humans need in order to be happy in life. The reason it's shown in this pyramid is because you can't reach those other levels until you get the first one and then the second one. When I was in high school and college and we were learning about slavery and dictatorship, we had students asking the teacher, well, how did these people know that they weren't under dictatorship? How did they not know that they were slaves? And that's when the teacher pulled out this pyramid. He explained to us that these people didn't realize that they needed to save themselves from slavery or the dictatorship because they weren't even getting their first needs met. And you can't think of anything when you're hungry or when you're not feeling safe or when you don't have a home. And these people had to rely on their masters or their dictator to get them that food. There is a reason why the federal minimum wage hasn't been raised since the 90s. Because if we have the money to reach all the levels of this pyramid, then we don't have to rely on anybody but ourselves. If you haven't realized this already, The government needs us to rely on them. There's a reason they're not helping poor people or people who are lower class. And they get away with this by teaching us from a very young age that America is the only land of the free. It's kind of crazy that we never thought about how weird it was for us as elementary school kids to be singing about how great America was and how we were better than everybody else. And they teach us that the police and the government is here to protect us. We're just supposed to follow the laws and do what we're told. And they show us pictures and videos and stories of what dictatorship and slavery is supposed to look like, and how we are definitely not that. And they talk about how our country is built upon how people can do whatever they want. And they don't have to follow the orders of a king or a queen. But we don't have as much free choice as they make us think we do. Because if we don't work for them, we die. And sure, they don't kill us themselves. They just let us starve. And that's why in a lot of places it's illegal to feed homeless people. And there's a second level of the pyramid that mentions health. I'm sure you've heard before that they pump chemicals into our food. And while those chemicals won't make you sick right after eating it, they do eventually make you sick. That is why so many people are dying from cancer and a lot of other illnesses. And if we have to keep going back to the hospital that's very expensive, by the way, then we only have enough money for the first level of the pyramid. Once again, we only have the money for water and food and shelter and clothes. And if you look around to the people all around you, almost all of us have issues with our self-esteem and listening to our bodies and understanding what we need mentally. And that is because we are so focused on these first 2 or 3 levels of the pyramid. Psychology is a really interesting subject, but a lot of people use it for evil, as you can see. Because if they know how our minds and our bodies work, then they know how to control our minds and our bodies. I don't want to come on here and make a video that's going to scare everybody, but this is the truth, and this is what I've observed and a lot of other people, obviously. I have a feeling this video is not going to get a lot of attention, and you know why. If there's anyone who's studied psychology and knows a lot more about this topic than I do, please make a video about it, because this needs to be talked about. And I wish I can say that because I shared this information that I know what to do about it, but I don't. It's hard to know who to trust because politicians go out there and tell you, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, and they make it sound like they're gonna do all the things that you want them to do and save us. And they never do, and they never follow through with any of their promises. And it's getting really scary, and it's only getting worse. So if anybody has any ideas on what we can do to fix this problem ourselves, please feel free to share them.
They tell you this to your face. Black Hispanics between 14 to 21. They must get stopped.
At the end of the month, these officers, whoever don't have that arrest or those few summonses, they're pressured to find something. You might not see nothing. You're supposed to be visible. You might not see anything, but you go hunting, like bounty hunting for an arrest. Locking up some old guy, some homeless guy, finding somebody who's riding a bicycle on the sidewalk, who's spitting, and you bring him in.
The problem is when you go hunting, when you put any type of numbers on a police officer to perform, we are going to go to the most vulnerable.
The most vulnerable.
Of course, we're going to go to LGBT community. We're going to go to the black community. We're going to go to those people that have no vote, that have no power. If we start doing what we're doing in Midtown Manhattan, a phone call to the mayor's office is going to be made. That's going to be the end of it.
We're the predators, they're the prey. The worst thing you can have is a police officer that needs an arrest for the month.
So you're all minorities. How does that make you feel?
It's horrible.
This is something coming from the top that trickles its way down, and this is why we're all here today.
I did not know slavery exists until I went to prison. See, I can speak about slavery, right? Because I've been a slave. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery unless you've been convicted of a crime. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I catch you.
I'm inventory at the age of 17, a slave for the state of Texas to serve 8 years of servitude in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Now, why you say a slave? Because some people think that, hey, once you're there, you just get a bunk bed, you get a book, and you get to just sit there in boring silence for the rest of your days.
You asked me why I said slavery?
Let's go.
Have you ever seen a nigga pick cotton?
Nah.
Where have you seen a nigga pick cotton at?
Never in my life.
A slave, though.
Oh, slave. Yeah.
Nigga, I was sent to pick cotton. That's why I said.
Oh, so you?
Slave.
So wait. So
I was sent to sit. Wait.
All right.
I ain't never seen nothing but a slave pick cotton.
Wait. So
yeah.
You have actually picked cotton off the cotton plant?
I have picked cotton off the cotton plant. Texas Department of Criminal Justice, you pick cotton off the cotton plant. I go out here to the fields, and this is something me and you would never think exists. Right around the corner here, it's plantations of nothing but cotton. The South Empire was built on cotton, and they hadn't changed it in the 90s. We was here to pick it. And look, when I got to the field, I'm like, I'm not picking that shit, nigga. I'm not no motherfucking slave. They drew their guns. You ask what happened. You say what happened, right? Oh, they trained for niggas. Oh, you one of them niggas. You think you ain't gonna pick, huh?
Yeah.
You think you Kunta, Toby. Roll right up me on them guns, told me get down on my hands and knees or they gonna shoot me. That's what I'm telling you. You are a slave. They have the right to kill you if you pose a threat to leave in this structure. No, damn. This is jail.
So
I am a slave. If I run, they shoot me in the back.
How many times you thought of running?
None. Well, what you mean?
So let me, at any point, did you feel like, man, if we all get in this together, we can overtake this shit?
That shit sound good,
right,
bro. That shit sound good. And I'm gonna get to that, right? So to this point here, right? They made me get on the ground. One of them got off the horse. When he got off the horse, if I made any moves, you get smoked. They get a free kill. They got notches on their shit from niggas they done killed.
Damn.
They keeping the score. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's why I say, let's not play with this shit. This is slavery. This is my first day. I'm like, you, what the fuck is this?
You still a child? Yeah, you still a kid?
Too.
You what, 17, 18?
I'm 17.
17?
Like, what the fuck is this? Make me get on my knees. One of them get off, handcuff me, right? And I'm thinking this, well, at least I get a ride back in the building. I'm out this shit. They got me fucked up. No, that's not happening, bro. Guess what they do? You know, do they whip you? They don't whip you, right? This is what they do. It's hot outside right now, right?
Yeah.
They have a trailer. Everybody know of a trailer, like they go on the back of a truck. Yeah. They have a trailer that's enclosed with a fence, a regular fence. Yeah. They handcuff you in this trailer, put you in this trailer like this, no seats in the trailer or nothing, for the rest of the day. Welcome to burning hell. I'm telling you, I've been a slave, bro. And that shit ain't nothing to play with. I can tell you this, though. By day 6, I was the best cotton picking nigga they ever had down in that motherfucker. Look here, say, look here. And I wasn't the only one. It was some stiff cotton picking niggas down there. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hey, nigga, I'm telling you the honest truth. Meaning they have perfected on mentally and physically breaking niggas. And listen, if you got 2 out of line, I'm finna get to your story too. Listen, that's them breaking you. After that, if you get 2 out of line, them niggas will whoop you out there. Hey, you fucking it up for everybody. Nigga, if boss man say this nigga ain't acting right, them niggas will whoop you out there. So I went from that to having fights out there. And guess what? Fight, win, lose, or draw. Back to picking cotton.
No matter what.
Back to picking cotton.
To carry my child? Do you know how sick that is? Why do I want to put my melanated seed in the belly of a devil? Why? It makes no sense. Black men date out their race more than all other men put together. You know why? Racial inferiority. We don't think we're as good as the white man, so we need the white woman in order for us to feel an artificial sense of equality. It is self-hatred to the 20th power. I'm not against white women, but I support black women. And in my support of black women, I cannot condone interracial dating. But let's look at the economics. Take the romance out. Take the emotion out. Let's look at the economics. Marriage is a business contract. Women on average live longer than men. So if I marry a white woman and I die prematurely, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I die prematurely, rest in peace, marvelous Marvin Hagler. That white woman is not going to take any of the wealth that I built as a black man and give it to the black community so we can help regenerate ourselves. She's going to keep that money for herself, and all that black money will go back into the hands of white society. Interracial marriage is economic betrayal.
Are there any good white people in the world?
There may be, but it doesn't matter. And you know why? No matter how good an individual white person may be, they have an obligation to look out for the best interests of the white race.
And this is why they hate blacks in America so much, the white power structure. We're the only non-white people in the country who cannot be sent home. Right. You cannot be deported. Slavery destroyed your cultural, psychological, and intellectual connection to your ancestral homeland. If the Ghanaian get on your nerve, he go back to Ghana. If the Puerto Rican gets on your nerves, he go back to Puerto Rico. If the Afro-Cuban gets on your nerves, he or she go back to Cuba. If the Chinese get on your nerves, send them back to China. If the East Indian gets on your nerves, send them back to India. If the Arab gets on your nerve, send them back to one of the Middle Eastern states. But when American Africans get on your nerves, where do you deport us to? Most American Africans are so brainwashed, they think they're American. So you cannot deport them because this is what they identify with most. So in other words, the white man created his own problem, which makes it almost impossible to deport us. So the only way to get rid of us is a systemic system of racial genocide, and that's what they're using.
Okay, what do you think the plan is? Why do you think they want us in this delusional state? That they want us stuck, they want us in this matrix. What do you think the overall plan is, just to keep us?
I just believe we are messing with a incubus and a succubus type of entity. And I think that this entity literally survive and thrive off of fear and off of blood and off of catastrophic of events. I don't believe that whoever is even yielding forth this plan is human. You know, there's different type of species here on this earth. And, you know, a lot of people think this is spookism, but it's actually in a lot of classified documents that's ran down by the CIA, the government, that's unclassifying these things. For instance, you know, a lot of people believe that the reptilian movement or this new reptilian information is fake, but we have something called the reptilian part of our brains, which is the natural state of fight or flight to our brain. It's right up under the mammalian brain. It's literally called the reptilian brain, and it's basically in control of your desires, basically sleep, awakening, hunger, and having sex to reproduce. So I believe that there's entities out here that want to control us, to use us as a battery to basically keep them thriving and surviving through the galaxies. Everybody is not here to exchange and share love and to grow humanity, to expand consciousness. There's something called duality. Whenever you create light, darkness is a byproduct of that. Whenever you see something beautiful, there have to be a byproduct that look like something ugly. You got hot, cold, you have up, down, you have water, you have solids. So you have black, you have white. There's a polar opposite to each entity that ever lives inside of this reality. So if we are the children of light, then there have to be children of darkness. And this war been here since the beginning of time. Just by creating creation, you start conflict, because you can't create nothing that doesn't have a polar opposite. And they teach you this in biochemistry. You have electrons that's negatively charged, then you have protons that's positively charged. You have hydrogen that's charged, then you have oxygen, and if you add it to a hydrogen, it becomes negatively charged. So just us living and breathing inside of this universe, you always going to have that opposite side or go to war with something. And I just believe within my heart and everything I've been studying and researching that we are at a war with a people that's not a people, and this is spiritual warfare. And the reason why they're doing what they're doing is because they need our energy, they need our essence, they need our blood, and they need our currency to survive and to thrive in this here realm. So the ultimate goal for them is to use us as batteries, in layman terms, for us to be slaves.
That's what we are.
Yes, well, yeah, that's what they are. Hopefully after this podcast, they won't be, though.